Imagine this. It's the year 2140, and the very last Bitcoin, number 21 million, has just been mined. The digital gold rush that's been fueling dreams of financial freedom for decades is over. No more new Bitcoins. Ever. What happens next? Will Bitcoin crash? Will it skyrocket? Or is there something bigger at play that could change the way you see wealth forever? Stick with me for the next 15 minutes, because I'm going to break down exactly what happens when Bitcoin hits its limit, and how it could transform your financial future. This isn't just about crypto, it's about your dreams, your freedom, and the legacy you're building. Let's dive in. You've probably heard the buzz about Bitcoin, how it's a hedge against inflation, a rebellion against centralized banks, or even a ticket to financial independence. But there's one question that keeps investors like you up at night. What happens when there are no more Bitcoins to mine? See, Bitcoin isn't like traditional money. It's capped at 21 million coins, hard-coded into its DNA by its mysterious creator, Satoshi Nakamoto. That's not a random number. It's a deliberate design to make Bitcoin scarce, like gold buried deep in the earth. But unlike gold, we know exactly when the last Bitcoin will be mined, around the year 2140. That's not as far off as it sounds when you're planning for your family's future or your retirement. So, let's unpack this together. Picture a world where no new Bitcoins are created. Will the dream of crypto wealth vanish, or is this the moment Bitcoin becomes something even bigger? To understand what happens when all 21 million Bitcoins are mined, we need to get why this limit exists in the first place. Think of Bitcoin like a giant digital vault with only 21 million keys. Miners, those folks running powerful computers to solve complex math puzzles, are the ones unlocking those keys, releasing new Bitcoins into the world as a reward for keeping the network secure. Right now, about 19.5 million Bitcoins are already in circulation, and every 4 years, something called the halving cuts the reward miners get in half. It's like a bakery that bakes fewer and fewer loaves of bread over time until, eventually, the oven shuts off completely. By 2140, that oven stops, and no new Bitcoins are created. But here's the kicker. Miners don't just mine for new coins, they also earn transaction fees every time you or I send Bitcoin to someone else. So, when the last Bitcoin is mined, miners will still have a reason to keep the network running, those fees. Imagine a toll booth on a highway. Even if the road's fully built, the booth still collects money to maintain it. That's how Bitcoin's network stays alive. But will that be enough to keep Bitcoin valuable? Now, let's talk about what this means for you, the investor. Scarcity drives value. It's why diamonds, rare art, or even that limited edition sneaker you couldn't get your hands on costs a fortune. Bitcoin's 21 million cap is its secret sauce. When no more coins are mined, Bitcoin becomes the ultimate scarce asset. Think about it. There are over 8 billion people on Earth, but only 21 million Bitcoins will ever exist. If you do the math, that's less than 0.003 Bitcoins per person. It's like owning a piece of a rare painting that the whole world wants. But here's where it gets emotional. You've worked hard, maybe struggled to save, invested in stocks, real estate, or even crypto, hoping for a better future. The fear is real. What if Bitcoin's value tanks when mining stops? Or worse, what if you miss out on its potential because you didn't act? Let me share a quote from Warren Buffett that hits home here. The stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. Bitcoin scarcity could reward those who hold on, who believe in its vision. But there's a flip side. Let's explore what could go wrong. Picture this. It's 2140, and miners are no longer getting new Bitcoins. They're relying solely on transaction fees. If those fees aren't high enough, some miners might shut down their computers, weakening the network security. It's like a city with fewer police officers. Things could get shaky. If the network slows down or becomes less secure, people might lose faith in Bitcoin, and its price could take a hit. Plus, there's the risk of centralization. If only a few big players can afford to mine, they could control the network, undermining Bitcoin's promise of decentralization. And let's not forget competition. Other cryptocurrencies or even central bank digital currencies could steal Bitcoin's thunder. But here's the thing. Bitcoin has survived crashes, bans, and skeptics for over a decade. It's like a boxer who keeps getting back up, no matter how hard the punch. The question isn't just about risks, it's about what Bitcoin represents. a chance to take control of your financial destiny in a world where banks and governments often call the shots. So, what's the best-case scenario? When all 21 million bitcoins are mined, Bitcoin could become the world's most trusted store of value, like digital gold on steroids. Imagine a future where Bitcoin isn't just a speculative asset but a global standard, used for everything from buying coffee to funding your kids' college. The end of mining could force the world to see Bitcoin not as a get-rich-quick scheme but as a foundation for wealth preservation. For you, the investor, this is a wake-up call. If you believe in Bitcoin's vision, now is the time to learn, to invest, not just money, but time and energy into understanding this revolution. Think of it like planting a tree today that your grandkids will sit under. Even if you're starting small, every fraction of a Bitcoin you own could be a piece of a future where financial freedom isn't a dream, it's reality. And here's a practical tip. Don't try to time the market. Dollar cost averaging, investing a fixed amount regularly, can help you build your stake without the stress of chasing highs and lows. So, here we are. The last Bitcoin will be mined, and the world will keep turning. The question is, will you be ready? Will you be one of the patient ones, the ones who saw the potential and acted before it was too late? I know it's scary. Investing always is. But you're not just investing in Bitcoin. You're investing in a vision of freedom, of a world where your hard work, your dreams, and your legacy aren't at the mercy of a broken system. Start small if you need to. Educate yourself. Read books like The Bitcoin Standard by Safedian Amos. Talk to others in the crypto community. And if this video spoke to you, hit that subscribe button and join us for more insights on building wealth with purpose. Drop a comment below. Tell me, what's your biggest fear or hope about Bitcoin's future? Let's keep this conversation going. Your financial freedom is worth fighting for, and I'm here to help you every step of the way.